Hi, class. So this is the basic of anger management 101 for Kennedy King College. Thank you for joining. Our objectives are to define anger. By the end of this module, students will be able to define anger, define what causes anger, distinguish between anger versus aggression, describe physical symptoms of anger, describe anger triggers and anger styles, explain anger management treatment. So what is anger? Anger is a normal feeling that we all experience. Anger is a basic human emotional response experienced by all people, and anger is typically triggered by a threat or perceived threat, an injustice, hurt, or frustration faced from an obstacle. Anger varies from person to person and from situation to situation. As people are unique and different, things that anger or upset these individuals are also unique and different. So please keep that in mind. And anger is a strong feeling of displeasure with someone or something combined with an urge to fight back. Remember, anger is a normal feeling that we all express. So anger is one of humanity's most basic emotions. You're going to feel how you feel, and how you act is up to you. The feeling is there, but the response of how you act will always be up to the person. So we talk about anger, which is the feeling, versus aggression, which is an action. So we need to know the difference between the two. Again, anger is a feeling, aggression is the action. So aggression causes damage with words, fists, or weapons, but is virtually always designed to punish. Aggression is intended to threaten or injure the victim's security or self-esteem. And aggression is one negative way in which individuals express anger. Please keep in mind that you can express your anger without being verbally or physically abusive. So this is the aggression cycle. So we have the build-up phase, the explosion phase, and then the aftermath, and it continues forward. And it continues the same way. So there's a couple myths about anger. So the first myth is that the way you express anger cannot be changed. That's a myth. The second myth is anger automatically leads to aggression. That's a myth. The third is you must be aggressive to get what you want. Again, a myth. And fourth is venting anger is always desirable. That's not true, and that's a myth. What are some of the things which make you angry? So we should think about those things so we can have more awareness in how we respond. So triggers are some things that make people angry. So this is what bugs you. Different things can make different people angry, but everyone feels angry at some time. And these are some of the producing situations that will cause anger. So just a couple things: stress and worry here, rejection, hurt, embarrassment, jealousy, low self-esteem, grief, home life, insults, etc. So we learn to deal with anger, or dealing with anger. If you know your anger triggers, then you can either 1, avoid them, 2, learn how to deal with them, 3, learn how to put your feelings into words, explore and name the emotions. So for instance, are you hurt, confused, or shamed, or even fearful? There are 2 issues. So there's always controlling anger and then reacting to anger. Poor handled anger can cause many problems. So control your anger. When your anger is triggered, you're going to react in some way. The way you react is called your anger style. So will you act out? Are you dumping? Or are you burying? Those are just different styles. So uncontrolled anger is out of control. So this can trigger a large number of antisocial behaviors, can trigger negative consequences, can hurt people physically. You can always control the situation you're in or how it makes you feel, but you can control how you express your anger. So that control you do have. So anger is a problem, right? When it harms you, it leads to aggression. It harms people around you, disrupts school or normal behaviors or relationships. When it's too frequent, intense, and lasts long, affects your overall quality of life. And when it's chronic, explosive anger spirals out of control. So uncontrolled anger can trigger a large number of antisocial behaviors and negative consequences. So consequences of acting out, these are several things that can occur, right? So you can have legal trouble, you can have problems in your social life, home or communities or neighborhood or relationships with people. You may lead to some substance abuse. There may be physical problems, some physical violence or acting out on anger, emotional problems. It may be more internal, like low self-esteem. And of course, there's others. So, how does anger make you feel physically? Feeling angry has a physical reaction that is usually unpleasant. So, your body sends you signals when you're getting angry. Some people have a clenched fist. Some individuals are racing and have a pounding heartbeat. Some people sweat. Some people have a loud voice. Some people get red or have a red face. And other people may have upset stomach, or this may all happen to the same person, or some of these things may happen to the same person. So warning signs. What warning signs apply to you? So these are great things to note. So just for instance, it might be the inability to focus, insulting people, heavy breathing, being argumentative. You might be pacing. You might have intense staring. You might go quiet and shut down. You might throw things. People might make an angry face, become aggressive. You might use profanity or cry or can't stop thinking about the problem or the individual. So it's cycling in your mind. So self-help. Right, these are non-therapeutic ways of dealing with anger. So some people say cool off and stay calm. So you might walk away. Some people count to 10 backwards, or they count upwards as well, or do both. Take deep breaths, and then use calming self-talk to cool you down. Or you imagine yourself in a peaceful place or a favorite place. Here are some other self-help, non-therapeutic ways of dealing with anger. You might give yourself some time to sort things out or write the problem down on paper. You might think through it, ask yourself, what really happened? How was I triggered? What were my cues? Or you might talk it over with a friend or a trusted adult. And you might look at the situation from a different viewpoint. You may also turn your angry energy into a change for better. You may channel your angry energy into physical activity. You may try to solve some problem. You may try to accept situations you can't change, or changing our view of situation can change our reaction to it. So don't let anger control you. Take control over it. And so exercise self-control. Self-control is the ability to resist inappropriate behaviors, dealing effectively with emotions such as anger and developing patience. Maintaining self-control is a key to managing anger. Remember, you have the control over yourself. To have control over yourself is to master yourself. And so when you are angry, you recognize it and you can have ways in which you express it in the more meaningful, non-violent, non-hurtful way to yourself and to other people. So everybody gets angry. That's right. That's just how it is. The difference comes in what you do about it. So get a grip. So dealing with anger, when you find yourself angry, remember that the only behavior you can manage is your own, right? So pay attention to your anger cues, and if you feel like you're going to lose it, stop. So we talk about professional anger management. So what is anger management therapy? It's a therapy that is goal-oriented and targets the emotional response to external factors that cause anger. Some of these factors might be the setting, the number of sessions, the length of the session, and even whether the sessions are individuals or group, vary depending on individual circumstances. Anger management therapy helps individuals to express their feelings and needs in an assertive and appropriate way, identify situations that are likely to upset them so they can be emotionally prepared, recognize when they aren't thinking logically, focus on problem solving rather than the problem itself, and calm down when faced with situations that cause them to become upset or angry. So there's different types of anger management. There's individual therapy versus group therapy. So these are good slides to review. And then anger management is often recommended for several individuals. It might be for violent offenders, individuals who have bullying type behaviors, individuals who have cognitive disorders or mental health issues, who have difficulty regulating emotional responses, individuals who might be living or suffer from PTSD, and people coping with behavioral changes related to a traumatic brain injury, or also individuals who are experiencing addiction or substance dependency in some way. So there's also CBT therapy, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, right? So it's great for anger management. It can help An individual redirect their thoughts and behavioral patterns. So our thoughts control our behaviors is what cognitive behavioral therapy is. And so if we control our thoughts, we can control our reaction or our behaviors. And then mindfulness also can teach people to control their response to anger, by being more mindful of themselves and utilize it as a tool that leads to a better understanding of one's needs and a motivator for positive change. So these are references. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.